The average Canadian gets about 30,000 days in their lifetime. And by age 60, you've already used up around 22,000, leaving just 8,000 days left on average. And the reality is many of those years might not be your healthiest. Too many Canadians in their 60s and 70s end up saying, "I wish I had retired earlier." I've seen this happen with far too many of our clients here at Blueprint, and that's why today I'm going to walk you through the 7 signs you might be ready to retire earlier than you think. Here's sign number 1. Now, life has a way of giving you wake-up calls. Maybe it's a health scare, losing a spouse or a loved one, burnout at work, or simply watching friends retire earlier and enjoy life. Each one is a reminder that everything ends at some point and nothing is ever guaranteed. And here's a hard truth, health often declines in the mid-70s. Here at Blueprint, we like to plan for what's called your healthy retirement window, which might just be your 60s and early 70s. If you wait until your late 60s or 70 to retire, you may only get a few good years in before health starts holding you back. And just like any other resource that runs out, time only grows more valuable as it dwindles. Retiring earlier doesn't just give you more time off work, it gives you more of the best years of life, while you can still actually enjoy them. Think of it like photographers chasing what they call the golden hour to capture that perfect shot. Retirees need to chase their golden years of health. Now think of Steve Jobs. In his 2005 Stanford speech, he told graduates, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life." The dark irony is that Jobs himself died at just 56, largely because he initially delayed conventional treatment for his cancer diagnosis. His story is a reminder of how fragile life really is. You can have all the money in the world, billions and billions of dollars just like Jobs, but if you don't have the health or time to use it, what's the point? The second sign is you're just overwork and everyone's nonsense. If you wake up on Sunday morning already dreading Monday, it's a warning sign that your job is draining the life out of you. Maybe you're rolling your eyes at your coworkers, clashing with management, or simply feeling like your work no longer has meaning can slowly chip away your happiness and even your health. And many Canadians push through miserable jobs just to hit a pension milestone or squeeze out a few extra paychecks. But at what cost? Every year spent in a toxic or joyless environment is a year that you won't get back. And the idea of working longer because you should ignores the real price, which is lost energy, lost time, and sometimes lost health. If you're financially ready, leaving earlier can actually be the smarter choice. Early retirement or even semi-retirement lets you reclaim control. Instead of dragging yourself through another week, you could be working on projects you love, spending time with people who energize you, or finally pursuing long-delayed goals. And here's the flip side. If you truly love your work, retirement might not be the answer. Look at Warren Buffett. At 94 years old, he just announced his retirement. This was one of the richest men on earth who obviously didn't need to work, but worked for the joy of it, and has stated that he tap dances into work. The lesson is simple. If your job brings meaning and joy, keep going, and if it doesn't, don't be afraid to step away earlier. The next sign is one I think is most important, which is you know exactly what you do instead. Having a vision for what comes next is a clear sign that you're ready for retirement. Because retirement isn't just about leaving work, but it's also about stepping into a new chapter. And if you already know what excites you, whether that's traveling across Canada or the world, volunteering in your community, writing, gardening, or spending more time with friends and family, then you won't feel lost once the workdays stop. Some Canadians even choose semi-retirement instead of a hard stop. They leave their 9-to-5 jobs but keep part-time or freelance work to provide structure and a little extra income, and it also keeps you sharp. This balance often delivers the best of both worlds, which is freedom to enjoy life, but still enough routine and purpose to stay engaged. Knowing exactly what you do also protects you from one of the biggest retirement pitfalls, which is boredom. Without a plan, some retirees drift aimlessly, struggling with identity and purpose. And with a plan though, retirement becomes energizing. You're not quitting work, you're trading it in for the life you've been waiting to live. And if you want to save more on taxes in retirement, check out our free guide with 5 proven strategies to keep more of your money. Grab a copy, a link is in the description. The fourth big sign is that you're mortgage free and financially stable. Owning your home outright is one of the biggest green lights for early retirement because rent or a mortgage payment is usually the single largest monthly expense Canadians carry. Once it's gone, and if you manage to keep other debts low, your cost of living drops dramatically. Suddenly, the idea of retiring early doesn't look so risky. With lower expenses, covering the rest becomes much easier through retirement income such as CPP, OAS, your employer pension, RSPs, or TFSAs. You don't need nearly as large of a nest egg when your baseline costs are minimal. And it's not just about the numbers, it's about the peace of mind that comes from knowing your roof is secure and your basic needs are covered. At that point, leaving work becomes far more realistic. And this is one of the steps we help Canadians plan for the most. Here at Blueprint Financial, we do fee-for-service retirement planning. So our only job is to build you the best plan possible. So book your discovery call with us today. The fifth sign is you've built diversified income streams. One of the strongest signs you're ready to retire earlier is when your money is working for you. If all of your retirement income depends on a single source, like say CPP or a very small work pension alone, you'll constantly feel vulnerable. But when you've built multiple income streams, retirement becomes far more stable. For most Canadians, this might mean a mix of, say, pensions, CPP, OAS, investment dividends, rental income, maybe some part-time work and systematic withdrawals from RSPs or TFSAs. And the beauty of diversification is that no single risk, say market downturns, inflation, or pension changes, can completely derail your retirement. The investor Ray Dalio often calls diversification the holy grail of investing. And the same principle applies to retirement income. Because a retiree with 5 income streams won't lose sleep if one underperforms, while someone relying solely on government benefits will likely struggle. When you know that money will keep flowing in from different directions, you gain the confidence to step away from work earlier. Another clear sign you're ready to retire early is if your savings and income sources can comfortably cover 20 years or more of living expenses. And why 20 years? Well, because it's long enough to carry you from an early retirement in your 60s well into your 80s when health and spending often change. Here at Blueprint, we like to plan up to age of 90 because people are living longer these days. But this isn't just about the raw number, it's about having a strategy. Do you know how much you'll spend each year? Have you factored in increased inflation, healthcare costs, and say lifestyle changes? Do you know which accounts you'll draw from first? Things like your RIF, TFSA, or your taxable non-registered accounts. And that's the real difference between being wealthy enough and being retirement ready. And William Bengen, the planner who developed the famous 4% rule, showed how systematic withdrawals can stretch savings across decades. Canadians who apply these principles and stress test their plan against market downturns put themselves in the best position to retire with peace of mind. Which brings us to our next sign is that you have a long-term stress-tested plan. And this is a step that changed everything for me personally. I used to worry constantly about money. Even small mistakes would stress me out for days. Building a stress-tested plan for myself gave me real peace of mind, and it's one of the biggest reasons I started Blueprint Financial because I truly believe in the service we are offering because it's greatly improved my own life. The final and most technical sign you're ready to retire is that you've built this long-term plan that's been tested against worst-case scenarios. Things like market downturns, inflation, healthcare costs. And it's not just about accumulating this huge savings balance, it's about knowing how to use it wisely. A diversified investment portfolio matched to your risk tolerance, combined with a tax-efficient withdrawal strategy and clear estate goals is huge. Because to me, one of the biggest benefits of this is giving you the confidence to spend. Many retirees don't struggle with saving, but they actually struggle with actually using their money. And it makes perfect sense because you don't have that employment income flowing in anymore, so people naturally tighten up a bit more during retirement and they spend even less. A stress-tested plan gives you that freedom to enjoy life without the constant anxiety of running out of money that's unfortunately hardwired into pretty much all of us. Because at a certain point, working longer or more years, it might add a few more dollars, but it won't add more life. If you've run the numbers, mapped out carefully your RIF, TFSA, non-registered withdrawals, and know that your money will last in the worst conditions, then retiring early isn't reckless, it's responsible. Because the goal isn't just to die rich, it's to live richly while you can. And here at Blueprint, we can help you retire smarter with custom plans built for you. So visit our site, check out our free resources and our services, and let's build the life you want with the right blueprint. And stick around because YouTube has another video lined up for you that I know you'll love.